Hi, I'm Ryan. I am the merchandise manager for Sweet Maria's, and I am going to walk you through a little bit of information about the Behmor 2000 AB Plus and whether this is going to be the best roaster for you. So at Sweet Maria's, we carry a lot of different roasters that are really good at a lot of different things. We really want you to find the roaster that's best for you. Different people with different priorities are going to want different machines. So what are the things that the Behmor, which is a drum roaster, are really good at? So one thing, it's an electric drum roaster. It has a larger batch size than a lot of electric drum roasters that are on the market. It can roast up to 16 ounces or 1 pound. We've found that the best results come around a 12-ounce batch, but if you are looking to get a larger batch size, the Behmor is going to be a really great choice for you. Another really nice thing about the Behmor is that it has built-in smoke suppression. It does have a catalytic converter in the rear of the machine. There still is going to be some smoke, especially if you're roasting larger batches or if you prefer a darker roast level, but if you are stuck roasting inside, if you have a really sensitive smoke detector, or if you're just sensitive to those kinds of fumes, this is a really great choice. That's something that people really like. The other thing that's really wonderful about the Behmor is its flexibility. So over here, you're going to see the control panel. So you have a few different options. It does come with some preset roast profiles, so you can just click the button and kind of let it do its thing. But if you want to get more hands-on and do more roast profiling, the Behmor is going to allow you to do that. You just have to take it into manual mode. In manual mode, you can control different roast variables. So you can control the temperature settings for the Behmor, the power settings, which are going to increase or decrease heat. You can control the drum speed, which is going to affect airflow. And this new model actually has a stronger drum motor, so you're going to see a slightly larger effect compared to some older models. You can also, of course, change the time of your roast. So you can shorten it, you can lengthen it out and extend more time, and then take it into cooling mode. So if you're a tinkerer, if you're a person who likes to kind of mess around with things and really dial it in exactly the way that you want, I think that you could be really happy with the Behmor. That said, the Behmor is a very idiosyncratic machine, and there are some things about it that aren't the best for every single roaster out there. So one of the things that is not everyone's favorite about the Behmor, which kind of ties into the catalytic converter, is it's a little bit more difficult to use your senses to see the roast level and kind of monitor the roast while a roast is happening. You can see there's just this little view window, and there's also kind of a reddish light that turns on the inside while a roast is in progress. What that boils down to is it can be really difficult to kind of take a look at your beans, see where they are, and use color to determine what roast level you're at. Another thing is because of the catalytic converter and the smoke suppression, you're still going to get those aromas, but they're going to be a little bit fainter than what they might be in a popcorn popper or on your stovetop. So all of that said, one really great thing about the Behmor, just to go back into the pros for a second, is it's very quiet. So it's going to be very easy to hear the cracks. You can definitely use that to determine your roast level, and the more you use it, the more you'll get to know about it. The other thing that I will say about the Behmor is this control panel. So on one hand, like I said, it gives you a ton of control. You can really kind of tailor things and make them work the way that you want to work. But it is not the most straightforward or intuitive control system, especially compared to some of our other roasters. I would say compared to some of the other roasters that we carry, there's a slightly steeper learning curve in terms of getting used to the controls, figuring out what button does what, especially since if you're roasting a set profile or if you're in manual mode, the different buttons will take on different functionalities. I can say For myself personally, if I'm roasting with a Behmor, because I roast on a lot of machines, I always make sure that I have the controls open in front of me with the directions so I can refer to them. We have a cheat sheet that I always use because otherwise I will forget what buttons do what. So if you're someone who wants it to be kind of like nice, easy, set the heat, set the fan or the drum and kind of let it do its thing, the Behmor might not be the greatest choice for you. It's going to take some time and some tinkering and some ruined batches before you really get a handle on this machine. Can it give you great results? Yes, but you're going to have to work a little bit at it and kind of get to know it. The other thing that I will say about the Behmor is it has internal cooling. On one hand, it's great that it has a cooling cycle, but it also is going to be pretty hot in there even while it's cooling. So your roast is going to kind of coast even after it's gone into cooling mode. It's going to get a little bit darker and it's going to get a little bit more development. There are some things you can do to kind of work around that. But it can make getting a really super light roast a little bit tricky in the Behmor. We do have a video in our library that you can watch that goes over how to get a really nice light roast with the Behmor. But if you want it to just get into first crack and get that super light, bright roast, you're gonna have to work a little bit harder with the Behmor than you might with some of our other roasters. On the other end of the spectrum, if you like a super dark roast, the Behmor might not be the greatest choice for you, especially if you really want to have that big batch size, that full pound batch size. Because it's an electric heating element in the back of there, it is halogen, but it's going to have trouble kind of getting up to and keeping that temp really deep into second crack. I would say the Behmor really excels from the kind of city plus to full city plus mode, can kind of get into those first crackles of second crack and taste really great. But even if you want that really dark kind of Vienna, French, Italian roast and you want to have a larger batch size, the Behmor is going to have a little bit of trouble getting to that. You can do some things to kind of trick the machine into getting darker and, you know, extending that second crack a little bit more. But because the Behmor already has a longer roast time compared to some of our other roasters, it can sometimes give it a baked flavor, a less pleasant flavor. So if you like the kind of light medium to dark medium roast, this is going to be a great choice. If you're more on the extremes, Behmor might not be the greatest choice for you. The biggest takeaway I would say is if you have any questions about the Behmor, if you have any concerns, if you have any priorities and you're not sure this is the machine for you, please reach out to us. Send us an email. We're always there. We'll get back to you Monday through Friday, usually the same day. And that's what we're here for. We want to make sure you're getting the right machine for you. There's nothing sadder than getting a machine, trying it a few times, and realizing that I should have read that product review a little bit more carefully. Behmor has great technical support. They are built to last. They come with a great warranty. Maybe the Behmor is the greatest roaster for you. If you're not sure, ask us.